Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Acara kami menyediakan banyak bahasa. Silakan lihat suprememastertv.com/schedule.
This famous religious site was voted by the citizens of its great country to be one of the 7 wonders of the Ukraine.
A 1,000 years faith-keeping, Pechersk, Lavra, and St. Sophia Cathedral. Continue watching to find out more.
Wondering how to greet someone in Ukrainian? Vitayu means hello. Beautiful friends, I am Yaroslava. The cheerful Ukrainian people are grateful for such kind-hearted friends as you and send you warmth and smiles. Welcome to 1,000 years faith-keeping, Pechersk, Lavra and St. Sophia Cathedral. The Pechersk Lavra of Kiev, Ukraine, is a 1,000-year-old Christian sanctuary that still functions as a monastery and is the official residence of the head of the Church of Ukraine. This famous religious site was voted by the citizens of its great country to be one of the 7 wonders of the Ukraine. It is also one of the most important pilgrimage destinations for Eastern Orthodox Christians. Pechersk Lavra was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1991 together with another famous religious building, the St. Sophia Cathedral of Kiev. The unique subterranean cave monastery of Pechersk Lavra is made up of more than 600 meters or 0.37 miles of underground passageways that reach depths of up to 15 meters or 49 feet. The site began as a humble place of retreat for a monk, the Venerable Saint Anthony, who dug the first cave in the 11th century. The labyrinth of tunnels lead to frugal monastic cells, underground churches, and a mausoleum displaying the embalmed remains of 123 of its past residents in glass caskets. Visitors to the caves descend the winding staircases carved from earth and stone and pray to the relics that are said to include the remains of its past brethren, including Saint Theodosius, the second founder of Kiev-Pechersk Lavra, Nestor the chronicler, considered the father of Russian history, and historical luminaries such as the legendary 10th century knight Ilya of Murom, who is said to have possessed incredible strength and hoped to gain blessing and favorable circumstances in life. Theodosius became the anointed patriarch of Pechersk Lavra when the increasingly reclusive St. Anthony, that had all but permanently retreated to a newly dug cave, now referred to as the Caves of Anthony or Near Caves. St. Anthony had acknowledged him favorably, saying, "Who among you is more obedient, more modest, and more mild than Theodosius? Let him be your abbot." Saint Theodosius would introduce the Studite rule as observed by the Studian monastery in Constantinople. The Studite rule detailed ascetic principles in every aspect of a monk's life, from food preparation to the chanting of monastic hymns. The essence of the founding saints of Pechersk Lavra are said to be reflected in its 2 wells, one dug by the founder, the Venerable Saint Anthony, and the other by his successor, Saint Theodosius. The waters drawn from these sources are said to have a distinct taste, even from each other. One water is said to reflect kindness, and the other a more strict and disciplinary nature. The first above-ground center of prayer for the monks of Pechersk Lavra was the Domitian, or Assumption Cathedral, that was constructed in the latter part of the 11th century. Legend has it that Saint Anthony prayed and fire fell blazing from a sky, scorching a level surface upon the earthen foothills where the monks had dug their retreat cave dwellings. The original architects of the Dormition Cathedral were 12 Greek master builders. It is said that the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to them, asking each artist to build the Blessed Church. The legend also maintains that the Holy Mother also showed the chosen architects a vision of the temple in the sky, upon which the cathedral was inspired. The Holy Mother told them where to source the gold for the necessary elaborate decorations, and for these reasons the Domitian Cathedral is considered a most holy site. It is also told that during a time of epidemic, local shepherds had a vision of the Virgin Mary at a nearby spring, and those who drank from it were healed of the plague. Let us pause for a brief interval to pray for the well-being of our planet. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to 8,000 Years Faith-Keeping, Pechersk Lavra and St. Sophia Cathedral. Also known as the Monastery of the Kiev Caves, other famous monuments of the Pechersk Lavra include the Trinity Gate Church and the Great Bell Tower. Many visitors come each day to the Gate Church of the Trinity, which is situated at the entrance to the monastery and is one of the most spectacular examples of Ukrainian Baroque architecture still in existence. The monastery itself has intricately carved interior woodwork encrusted in gold, framing various depictions of biblical scenes. Images of the Lord Jesus Christ, the Virgin Mary and other saints are also prominently on display on the building's facades, all dating from the 18th century, while the edifice was first constructed in the early 12th century. The magnificent 96.5 meter or 316 feet Great Lavra Bell Tower at the entrance of the St. Sophia Cathedral complex was for many years the highest building in all of Kiev. It was in the early 11th century, 1037, that St. Sophia Cathedral was inaugurated in dedication to the ideal of wisdom by Prince Yaroslav the Wise. Known as the Church of Holy or Divine Wisdom, the cathedral was the social and political hub of Kievan Rus culture for hundreds of years. An outstanding symbol of Kievan Rus art and architecture, St. Sophia Cathedral was decorated in vibrant Byzantine fashion, inspired by the great church of Hagia Sophia in Constantinople, now Istanbul, Turkey. St. Sophia of Kiev is one of the oldest cathedrals in Eastern Europe and the oldest cathedral in the city. Its majestic 13 domes still dominate the landscape of the Ukrainian capital. When the Cathedral of Saint Sophia was inscribed under the UNESCO World Heritage listing together with Pechersk Lavra, it was the first dedication of its type in Ukraine. Notable for its fabulous Byzantine-styled frescoes that decorate the interior walls, columns and inner chambers, the interior mosaic of the cathedral's central dome is a depiction of Christ surrounded by angels. The Virgin Mary mosaic reaches 6 meters or 20 feet in height, and its dazzling combination of stone and glass plates in varying color combinations induces an atmosphere of commanding reverence. Beautiful 1,000-year-old frescoes line the interior walls, illustrating various biblical scenes. The frescoes remained hidden and forgotten for several centuries, covered with stucco or a thick layer of plaster. They were only rediscovered accidentally 150 years ago when a piece of the stucco fell off, revealing these religious artistic gems beneath. The outer architecture of the cathedral has been restored and reconstructed many times since its foundations were laid in the 11th century. Various architectural styles are evident, having managed to survive numerous tumultuous historical events. Many times the monks of Pechersk Lavra had to abandon any above-ground structures and retreat to the safety of their original cave dwellings. During the Renaissance in the 17th century, renovations in the Ukrainian Baroque style was carried out by Italian architect Ottaviano Mancini. These renovations give Saint Sophia Cathedral the distinction of one of the most attractive churches in the world. Many princes and other notable leaders have been interred within its walls. Another fascinating feature of the cathedral is ancient graffiti, much of it written in Cyrillic script in the form of heartfelt prayers, wishes, or accounts of events, both personal and generally informative. There is also legally styled writing recording different kinds of contracts, everything from marriages to business transactions. In some cases, a witness would be present to make sure the graffiti was legitimate. These historically invaluable writings were scribed by a varied cross-section of medieval Kievan Rus society, from commoners to nobility, giving a wonderful insight into the lives and thoughts of the people of this era. A tradition of choral singing was established since the time of the Venerable Saint Anthony, and from that time onwards, the a cappella has evolved into a distinct style. Saint Anthony, although a native of Kiev, spent his apprenticeship in monkhood at Mount Athos in Greece, one of the earliest Christian monasteries. There, he had absorbed many of the traditions of monastic life, from digging his first cave overlooking the Aegean to becoming acquainted with the ecstatic joys of communal singing with his brethren. Later, Saint Theodosius would formalize the chanting of hymns in accordance with the Studite rule. The style of Pechersk Lavra is a combination of the vocal styles from the Byzantine era that then blended and were influenced by local Slavic and Rus folk singing. Let's take a moment to appreciate "O Gladsome Radiance," a beautiful hymn from the all-night vigil service performed at Pechersk Lavra by its resident monks. Delightful viewers, thank you for your gracious presence today. Coming up next is the cute and fluffy American mink, right after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May heaven's blessing be upon you and may peace be within your heart.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WAU.